When I seems lost, thoughts lead you astray. Then I cry, then I feel pain. Why do I suffer so much? I would love to feel your touch. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is Sunday night, and that means it's Moose Racing League Night MRL. My name's Andy Owen. It is season 14, and we are on to round number 3, where our intrepid drivers will, of course, be tackling Texas. They'll be tackling the Austin Track Circuit of the Americas, Cota, as it's more beautifully renowned as, in this third round. Let's just take a quick look at the rounds and the calendar that have happened thus far. So, yes, you can see there when I've finished mucking around with that setting, he says, hopefully. We've had Canada, we've had Austria. It's Austin tonight, followed by Miami next week. I hope you all had a great holiday week, by the way, and a week off last week. Miami, obviously, this week. Then it's Spa-Francorchamps, July 27th, Hungary to round out the first half of the season before we head across to Mexico. 3 United States Grand Prix this season, of course, with Las Vegas in round 8, Monaco then in round number 9, followed by Monza, and Italy in round number 10. China will be round 11 as we head off to Shanghai on the 7th of September. And we round out season number 14 with a trip to the tricky little circuit of Zandvoort in the Netherlands on September the 14th. That is your calendar. The timer did stop. I was just hoping that I could get myself into the lobby in time. I'm still waiting for that invite, ladies and gentlemen. If you're one of the tier 2 drivers, please get me an invite. Cobb, how you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your Sunday. Right, what else did I want to cover off? Of course, results and standings so far. Let's take a quick look at the driver's standings. Heading the way so far is our lobby host for tonight, by the way. It's OTC Dreams. He's heading the way in that Haas. With a win and a second place under his belt on 43 points. Last time out, of course, he was second at Austria, and it was Freddie Rozelle who was reserving in the Ferrari that took the win at Spielberg. In third place, it's J-Joe in the Racing Bull with Kick Sauber's Gwenfro, who's not with us tonight, by the way. So a chance for those guys below Gwenfro to try and close some gaps and maybe get in front of him in terms of the championship. It'll be Happy Like Pie, Dymo, Rich Sebi, Alex Carew, City of Art, Jay, etc., that are looking to try and close the gap on him this evening. Right, let's just take a quick look. If that's the driver's standing, what does that mean for the constructor's standings? Constructor's standings, as we sit, it's Haas leading the way so far on 53 points. Canada, they got the 18, 53 points for them. Haas, second place, 41 points with Aston Martin. The duo Aston Martin, both doing considerably well, matching each other in the championship right now. They're currently sat in third, but only a point behind them. It's the Racing Bull team and Kick Sauber again. Just another further 5 points back behind the Racing Bulls as we head into round number 3. Let's just have a quick look then through some of the statistics that we've had for the race so far. So obviously, we started off the season with 3 drivers capable of making it to the 100 Race Club. So we had Gamer, City of R, and Happy Like Pies. We're all 90-plus races into the season. They've each raced 2 races. So night marks Happy Like Pies' 96th race. It's 97th race for Happy Like Pies. It's 94th race of his career for City of R, and it'll be the 96th race actually for Gamer. Wins-wise, we've had an extra win for Dreams, of course, and an extra race win for Freddie, who's reserving. So 7 race wins now for Freddie. 3 race wins for Dreams in his career here at MRL. Still top drivers in terms of number of wins. It's D-Master, OG, and Happy Like Pies. Each have 10 race wins to their name in their prior seasons here at Moose Racing League. So who's going to win at Texas? Who's going to best the competition at Cota and take the race win in round number 3? Well, let's just take a look at the track map first and foremost, just let's to see what this track is made up of. It is 5.5 kilometers, 3.4 miles, 20 turns. A couple of DRS zones, one down that real long back straight and one on the home straight as you climb up the hill towards turn number 1. That's the only real elevation we've got at the track, the drastic elevation. We do have, though, between turn 6 and 10 and then down to 11, some undulations in the track which can cause some unsteadiness, certainly in the rear end as you've worked your way through the S's at the beginning of Sector 2 then as you climb up towards that turn number 11 hairpin. Sebi, thank you so much, my friend. I'll just see if I've got it. Yeah, there we go. Accept. Thank you very much, mate. Let's get this show on the road. Hopefully I'm the last one in and everybody else is ready to rock and roll. let's get ourselves into this lobby then. No, I'll need another one, please, guys. That one failed. So, yeah, let's get back over to... get back over to the screen then. So hopefully we'll get ourselves into the lobby real soon. The invite's failed, guys. If you sat there waiting for me, the invite didn't work, so I'll need a fresh one. Please make sure you send that through and tag me as and when that's happened, so I know to get in. Yeah, so really interested in terms of the number of wins and races that people have had here in tier number 2. Something else to note for tonight as well. D-Master OG is going to carry a 3-second penalty on completion of this race. If he finishes the race, of course, and we hope he does, he will tag a 3-second race from an indiscretion that he had at the last race of in round 2 at Austria. Let's just see what we've got. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers, packets. Let's see if we can get ourselves in like Flynn. I don't like it when it takes this long to try and get in the lobby, though. Do you know what I mean? No, that's failed as well. So, interestingly, I do not seem to be able to get into the lobby. We'll try with Sebi's again. This one's looking a little bit more fruitful. Hopefully, he says. Nope, that's failed as well. So I'm going to have to restart my game real quick, guys. I'm ever so sorry. It does appear as though we've got some bugs. So I'll restart. What a pain. What a pain in the behind. Not good signs when we're sat here hoping to get this show on the road. Okay, we've got ourselves another invite. Let's try City of R. There we go, and there we have it. We are in, ladies and gentlemen, we're in. Thank you so much, guys. Let's make sure we mute everybody. There we go. Everybody muted. We are finally in the lobby. Should we take a quick look now? I've wasted a few minutes. Let's take a quick look to see who we've got in said lobby tonight. OCT Dreams, the championship leader, of course, and tonight's host lobby. He does join us. 2 Williams then, one of Edge, one of City of R. Don't forget, by the way, we do have, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 prior world champions from Moose Racing League in this tier. Gwenfro isn't with us tonight. So we're down to at least 6 for this evening's race. But we do have quite a few world champions in. So it'll be interesting to see if we crown ourselves a brand new world champion. Dreams hasn't won a world championship yet here. Who did I say was second? Second was Freddie Rizal. Freddie Rizal hasn't won a world title here either. So the 2 front runners at the moment are 2 world titles. 2 world titles. They are 2 drivers in need of a world title, should I say. So after that, we've got Avera in the Ferrari Harv. Then in the Mercedes, we kick Sauber Zeech. Packets in the Red Bull. McLaren's Gabop. I'm a Bum in the Racing Bull with Aston Martin's Daimi. Sebi in the Aston Martin Alpine. Sheldon Humphrey, who's happy like pies, in the Aston Martin. If you didn't know before, we do have dynamic weather on here at Moose Racing League, and we run a short qualification session. So that's 18 minutes of qualification to determine who sits at the front of the grid on that pole position and who's going to join them on the front row. Tier 2 does tend to have quite a little bit of chaos, quite a little bit of incident, because we've got some guys in this lobby who are incredibly quick. Some guys who've been in Tier 1 before, and some guys who've done incredibly well, working their way up through the tiers over the course of the last 13 seasons. Looks like we've got a few, which is good. Let's have a quick look what the weather's going to be like then here. We tend to get quite a lot of good weather at Texas. And as you can see, certainly for this qualification session, bright sunshine. It almost looks like an early morning moment as the sun's beginning to rise. Hazy skies, but plenty of interaction and happy people stood up in those paddocks above the pit lane. Let's get the spectator menu rocking and rolling. See which tyres people are going to use for this. Already 30 seconds in, of course. No movement yet. No movement yet. So does that mean that we might have some inclement weather? Because normally we'd have a little bit of movement in the pit lane within the first 60 seconds. No movement as of yet. That might mean we have some bad weather on the way throughout the course of the main race. And that the guys feel like they're going to have a little bit of a play around with their setups. We do have some movement though, and it's Zeech, who is reserving tonight up in that Kick Sauber. So 60 seconds pass, and then we get the first car out onto the track. I will take some requests from you, by the way, tonight. If you, at any point during qualifying or at any point during the race, if you'd like me to do an on-board with any of the drivers, feel free to let me know, and I will jump on board with them. Difficult track for me, Cota. I've raced at it quite recently. There are some pretty tricky parts, certainly round about where you are right now. That turns through turn 2, sector 2. Plenty of opportunity to invalidate. I've also found on this game, I don't know whether you're the same, that the tyre wear is certainly an issue. We may well see ourselves on a 2-stop strategy tonight, depending upon safety cars, of course. But it looks as though the first car that's going to set a fast hot lap tonight is going to be the Kick Sauber of Zeech. 2 minutes have passed already. 16 more to go. Another little tricky section as you get into sector 3. Some tricky turns, and if your setup isn't right round this really long right-hander, it can cause you some issues. Let's jump on board then with Zeech for the first hot lap of the night. Let's keep our eye on that battery usage as well as he swings in. We just go through that. That's an invalidation station right there, and dodgy final turn as we employ the battery, and now we climb. After we've crossed that start-finish line, we climb up to the highest point of the track at turn number 1. He's looking to clip the inside corner, really. He's missed that inside apex of turn 1. Hooks turn 2, though, and then we're into the S's. You can take plenty of curb in the S's. If you do get a little bit greedy, it will invalidate you. Yellow flag's waving already. 25 flat for sector number 1. You can get greedy on that corner as well. And this feels like a proper banker, this one does from Zeech. Doesn't feel like his quickest effort. Down to a 50% battery then, as he crosses the hairpin and heads his way down, losing a little bit of traction on that back end, but now it's a slight climb, and he's backed out of the lap already by the look of it. Yeah, so he's backed out of that lap already, not satisfied with his run, and he is going to have to go again. Let's just see if we can find out who this car is here. There it is. It's City of R. So City of R is going to be on a lap. 33% battery. DRS, the wing wide open on that Williams. Oh, loses the back end then as he comes right into the end of the straight. Start of sector 3. Lost the back end. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. We didn't quite get a glimpse of what that time was. A wide line into this final part of this lap. The long right-hander that I spoke of before. Again, you can get pretty greedy on the inside and that curve. And this is where the danger lies. Just about manages to keep that lap valid, does City of R. And this is going to be our first number on the board. DRS wing wide open. Cross the line, it's a 1:33.3. Don't think that's going to be one of our quickest laps of the evening. Invalidation from Jabot. Freddie Rozelle going all the way down towards the final thing. Let's just see what his time is as he crosses the line now. 101.6. Yeah, very, very much a tricky track to master is this. So he's burning battery. He's burning battery all the way around that long right-hander. He'll gain a little bit back as he goes down, and Matteo puts down a 1:32.3, so a second quicker. We've got a couple of other guys who put times down as well, as Dreams, the championship leader, takes pole, but only for a brief moment in time, as 1.3 tenths. Freddie Rozelle in the Mercedes looks like he's taken provisional. So not driving for Ferrari tonight, driving for Mercedes and reserving. See who else we've got who might be starting. A couple of Aston Martins look like they're going to be starting a lap pretty soon. They've actually both just crossed the line together, 32.6 and 32.7 respectively, to sit in 5 and 6 now, as Packets throws down a 1:32.2. So pretty tight up at the top between the two championship leaders. J-Joe, I don't know whether J-Joe's on a hot stinking lap or not. Doesn't seem to be one of the quickest we've seen. But yeah, he's certainly putting the pedal down to the metal to try and get himself on that front row. Tries to fling it in. You'll see the very, very pointy car there. He had to just lift ever so slightly to stop the rear end from skipping out. But takes a nice final turn, and that's going to put him up into P5. Let's have a quick check-in with Ardell. Ardell's making his way down end of Sector 3. This one, we're looking for something around about the 106. It's going to be a bit slower. And actually, we've got a reduced harvesting situation. And I think we're going to find him in the pits. Here comes Gabot, though. Gabot taking this final turn. He's on the medium compound tire and he's invalidated. So he's going to be disappointed with that. Avera. He'll be coming back in as well. Do we have anybody on a second run? Alex Caru's got himself up into P7. Gamer in the second of our Kick Saubers. Zeech looks like he's going to be going again. And Gamer, this is Gamer just either setting himself up. He might be setting himself up for a second lap here. Good evening, Pete. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, are we going to see Gamer setting himself up for another lap, or is he going to dive into the pit? It looks like he's going to dive into the pits, yes. He heads over towards that left-hand side. I thought he might be trying to set himself up there for a lap. Who else have we got out on track? Alex Carew. Running low on fuel. Zeech should be on a lap now. Here he goes. Purple Sector 1 then for Zeech. And it already feels like a much more determined attempt after the first one that we saw Zeech run. He gave up round about here last time. It looks like he's going to keep going on. That was that rear wing. Yeah, the rear wing's wide open. Then on that bright green Kick Sauber as they head down towards the end of Sector 2. Again, a little bit snappy on the rear end. Possibility of a lock up there, and it's a 102.2. Doesn't seem to be a great deal of steadiness in the cars that we've been on board with so far tonight. There seems to be a lot of back end that they're not being particularly compliant. That's certainly a better turn into the penultimate corner. Are we fixed? You can get real greedy on that final corner. That's where these guys with a 1:32.9 then for Zeech, just joining his teammate currently on that 5th row. And goes Pretty deep. To that final turn. Do we have the Mercedes of Harv? Harv's just doing himself an outlap. Yeah, Pete, I thought that was going to be a much quicker lap than it ended up being, to be fair. It looks like Sebi's on a lap already. Yeah, Sebi with a 25 flat. So if we remember that very first lap that we saw, I think it was City of R that had put down that first lap. That first sector was a 26 flat. So already 1 second quicker in Sector 1. We're looking for somewhere around the 102 flat, I think, for the end of Sector number 2. A little bit of traffic out in front. There's a Red Bull, a Racing Bull, and a Kick Sauber, I think. Just coming into view. It's a 102.4, so a little bit slower. Might be around about the 8, 9, 10 mark. Here for Sebi in his first run. Sebi does tend to be quite quick during qualification, but again, not a very compliant front and rear end in that Alpine as it swings through the meat of this Sector 3 down towards the penultimate corner. And of course the final corner. He's used all his deploy as well, so he's going to be running light. Used all that deploy and he's in P10. Splits the 2 Kick Saubers then with a 132.899. Freddie Rizal still leads the way. We've got Dreams though. Dreams is on a lap. Where's Dreams? He's just starting. So let's jump on board with the championship leader then. Manages to clip the inside of turn 1. Grabs the apex and then it's all about the curbs and how you take it through the S's here in Sector 1. Something around the 25s would be nice. Maybe even a late 24s. It's 25 bang on. 300s quicker than his first attempt and takes it nicely there through the start of Sector 2 down towards the hairpin. Seems to have a much smoother transition there through the hairpin then. And now it's all about frontline speed. Seems to be hugging a lot of that right-hand side. And the braking point, round about just before the 100-yard marker, clips the inside though. That's a nice turn there from Dreams. Looks like he's had a good thing. Purple Sector 2. Over a 10th up on his time. Almost a 10th and a half. That would almost get him now level with Freddie Rizal. So what can he do in Sector 3 then? He's going to hug this inside line. Shortest distance possible, at quickest speed, of course, in these Formula 1 cars, as Packets actually goes quickest with a 131.834. 100th quicker than Freddie Rizal. But what's this final corner going to do for Dreams? Can he get himself? It looks like he can. Yes, absolutely. A 131.7 for Dreams' provisional pole. Now, just over a 10th in front of the Red Bull of Packets, but Freddie Rizal, not to be denied, goes quickest again by 700ths from Dreams. These two exchanging pole position laps quite frequently. Matteo's managed to get himself up into P4 as well. Is this that's not a push lap for him? I talked about getting greedy at turn 1. You can't get quite that greedy. Here's Dimey. We've not seen too much of Dimey so far tonight. I've got no idea how long's left in the session either, by the way, guys, because we've got continuous Dimey's invalidated as well. A little bit of uncomfortable driving there from Checho. No battery usage from him, and looks like he's going again. Here's Happy Like Pies, a.k.a. Sheldon Humphrey. He's just getting himself ready, but that red flashing fuel light would suggest to us that he's going to be doing something different. Alex Carew Goat crosses the line. Gets himself up onto the 3rd row, P6 for the Haas. Good representation from Haas tonight then. 2nd and 6th. 1st and 11th for Mercedes. Red Bull 3rd. Red Bull just 3rd. No D-Master OG in the lobby with us tonight. I wonder where he is, whether he's managed to get himself in. Here's Gamer then into the pits. Where's Zeech? Zeech is on a lap as well. We've just seen him pull up close to the behind of one of our other cars. Up to the hairpin he goes. What's his sector 2 time going to be? Again, we're looking for about that 102 flat. That would be where we are. Good evening, Mr. Titan. Okay, hello to you again. Cutting the whole S's now. Yes, indeed. Alex Carew has left the session, and I can't get him in because I bet he's not added me. And plus, I need to be concentrating on watching the action. So somebody else will need to get him in. Dreams, probably. Here comes Zeech then through the remainder of this sector. Burnt quite a bit of battery on that long right-hander. Down towards the penultimate turn then. Can we get that car turned in properly? No, he can't. And that will be diving into the pit lane. Kicks out at 3 minutes to go. And that's a big mistake by Zeech. Reserving up. That is going to particularly hamper his ability to get in, get some fresh boots on, stick some extra fuel in that car, and get himself back out again. Yeah, probably, Pete, to be fair. Probably. I would imagine so, but it's going to be pretty difficult. Right, no cars out on track other than the Aston Martin of Daimi. He is going to be first car to set the final run. Edge out. Not set a time. Gabot not set a time yet either. And I don't know whether that's because Edge had some kind of qualifying ban from the last race. Yeah, absolutely. Titan Kick is going to cut it a bit fine with these final laps. So let's just see who we've got on this then. So we've got Daimi out in front. We've then got, is that J-Joe? No, is it Bum? Yeah, Bum, and that'll be Packets then. So Packets will be next out on track after the Aston Martin. Then it's going to be Happy Like Pies. So let's just keep our powder dry for the time being. So Daimi's pulled over to that right-hand side. So it will actually be Packets then. Packets now will be our first guy to set that time. And actually, Daimi is relinquishing plenty of positions here. He might pick up his teammate, though. So Aston Martin possibly playing the team game here. We've got Daimi and Sheldon. Both looking to drive together. Are they going to be taken by somebody else? Yeah, they're going to stick together. They've just let a Williams go. Is it a Williams? Might be a Williams, might be an Alpine. Just gets a Williams. That's just gone through. So let's get ourselves on with Packets then for his final run. Currently sat in P3. He's going to see if he can get himself onto that front row. Needs to find a couple of tenths though. 2 tenths down. And not a particularly good final turn, it has to be said. Setting yourself up for that final turn, there is probably 1 or 2 tenths in it there if you get it right. And indeed, it's going to cost you 1 or 2 if you get it wrong. Up to turn number 1, top of the hill. Clips the inside apex. Gets a tiny little bit of curb on the runoff, on the exit. But it's going to be all about, as we've said before, curb and line through the S's. Good job. Keeping it in 7th, down into 6th gear then. He's going to flick it in through here. 5th down to 4th now, no doubt. Yes, there it is. Back up to 5th, though. It was a purple sector number 1, though. So good drive so far, this from Packets, then. 19 seconds of the session left. Anybody who's not past that start-finish line right now, after the next 13 seconds, will not set themselves a time. Is that going to be Dreams? No, it's not going to be Dreams. It's going to be Alex Carew on that outlap. He's got 4 seconds to get there. He's not going to make it. So he will not make it. He'll have to dive into the pit lane. That's it for him. He's going to be done. And that's Packets done and dusted as well. That'll be him finished. Where are these 2 Aston Martins then? Actually, it was J-Joe next, was it? J-Joe? No, it wasn't J-Joe. It's going to be I'm a Bum. I'm a Bum currently sat down in P15. He's going to be next car to cross the line. So Packets won't be pole after that mistake in Sector 3. Packets has been disqualified from the session as well. He's not been able to move. It's disqualified him. He'll start at the back of the grid. Absolute disaster that for the Red Bull team. Around the final turn we go then. What can I'm a Bum get up to? Can he get himself up? No, he can't. Only 600s better. A whole host of cars crossing the line now. We're going to have Aston Martin Sheldon up to P5. P3 it is for Daimi. Dreams, Freddie Rizal gets 2/10 better as well. What can Dreams do then? In the final 2 turns, can he snatch pole position from the Mercedes of Freddie Rizal? The championship leader with the championship chaser. Are they going to share the front row? And if they do, which order is it going to be? It's going to be Freddie Rizal, unless J-Joe, going around this final corner, has got a chance, has he? Up into P6 only. It's Gamer then cornering around that final turn now next. He's a couple of tenths up into P5 for Gamer. Missed. Has Missed got anything? He crosses the line. We don't quite get to see where he is. What a qualification session that was. And it is. It's going to be Freddie Rizal reserving in the Mercedes. Taking pole position this week with Dreams joining him on the front row. 179 thousandths in between them. 3.5 tenths back is Matteo in the Ferrari. Great from him. And then Daimi in the Aston Martin P4. Kick Sauber's Gamer in P5 with Sheldon Humphrey. Good showing from Aston Martin in P6. J-Joe P7. Half P8 in the Mercedes with Haas. Alex Carew in P9. Rich Sebi P10. 11 it's Zeech. Ardell in 12th. 13th City of R. Gabop 14. 15 Mist. Avira 16. I'm a Bum 17. Edge 18. And then Packets with that disqualification in the Red Bull starting at the back of the grid. And that is what happens when you make mistakes. Real good stuff there. And yeah, I think that Packets, you talked about it a little bit there, Pete. Packets has spun. He's had to stay still while a whole host of cars filter past him in that Red Bull stranded on the side of the road. And that's cost him the session. He's going to have to start at the back of the grid. And we hope that he isn't too annoyed and frustrated by that. So what do we think then in terms of the weather, by the way? We haven't had any weather reports tonight, but it does look like we've got magnificent weather, very similar to that of qualifying at the start of this US Grand Prix at Cota. So whether or not the weather gets worse, whether or not it improves, we will have to wait and see. But good weather to start off with, so there will be slick tyres on these cars at the start of this race. And it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is across the grid. Let me know in chat, by the way, if you've watched or driven in any of the races so far tonight. What's been the strategy that seems to have worked tonight? And did we have any rain? Did we have any inclement conditions across any of our other races so far? It'd be great to hear your opinions on what you think the strategy is and who you think is going to win this race. I'm absolutely gasping for a drink, but I can't go and get one because I'll miss the start of the race. So we'll just have to suck that up and carry on with what we've got. We're moments away then from the start of Tier 2, round number 3, Season 14 here at Moose Racing League. If you are here for the very first time, welcome in. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is free to support Moose Racing League by hitting the subscribe button. And of course, hit the like button for the stream as well. Let's see if we can get this race pushed out. These drivers deserve to be seen by more and more people each and every week. There's 24 of you guys in here right now. If you can get out and share on all your socials the link for this stream, that would be massively appreciated. Let's see if we can get up to I don't know. Let's see if we can get up to 40 viewers tonight. That would make me happy, and I'm sure whoever comes out on top of this race, that would make them happy as well. Quite the delay here at the moment. I'm just wondering if there's anything happening in the Tier 2 chat. 1 minute, says Dreams. That was 9:31. So we are getting ready, and the lights are going to start going on very, very shortly. And it is the green light, in fact, as we take ourselves onto the formation lap then. So let's run through that order one more time as we go through the formation lap. Freddie Rizal in the Mercedes in 1. Dreams in the Haas 2. Matteo in that beautiful Ferrari in 3. The first of our Aston Martins tonight is Daimi in 4 with Gamer in the Kick Sauber in 5. Second of the Aston Martins then. It's a Kick Sauber sandwich with 2 pieces of Aston Martin bread. as Sheldon Humphrey sits on the third row alongside Kick Sauber's Gamer. J-Joe then in the Racing Bull in P7 with P8. The second of our Mercedes joining him on the fourth row. The fifth row is going to be Alex Carew, who did have that disconnection throughout qualification. He is in P9 with the Alpine of Rich Sebi in P10. Second of the Kick Saubers it is Zeech in P11 with Ardell in the first of our McLarens. Quiet qualification session from the two McLarens, with 12th being Ardell and Gabot being in 14th. In between those two McLarens, we've got the Williams of City of R. City of R, as we've said, racing his 94th race this evening. We've then got Mist in the Alpine, I believe, reserving in P15 with Avira, the second Ferrari. He is in P16. I'm a bum, P17 then, with Edge, who didn't set a time. May well have had a qualification ban, I can't realise. Nice little break between quali and race, absolutely. And of course, it's Packets in the Rebel at the back. Top three teams for the combined constructors are in the top three. I see. I see. I think we saw Zeech momentarily get disconnected there. Let's hope he can join back in. There he is. So Zeech is back in. Oh, a mistake from a couple of drivers, actually. Daimi and Carew not getting their positioning right when it comes to the grid, and neither did Harv, by the way. So three drivers not getting themselves into position properly. They'll suffer a slight disadvantage then off the line. We're almost ready to go racing. It's Tier 2, round number 3, Season 14 of Moose Racing League, and it's showtime! And Dreams gets a drive-through penalty. What a mess that is, by the way, as Dreams drops all the way back to P13. It didn't look like he'd moved to me, I have to be honest, but he is off and gone. P13 then all the way down to P12 now, and a drive-through penalty for the championship leader. Freddie Rizal taking advantage, and he is streaking out 8 tenths already in front of Matteo in the Ferrari. Yellow flags waving, and it's Zeech. Zeech isn't in good shape then at the back of this grid. Great bit of work to do for him, and he's left the session again. That car is under AI conditions now, and that will cost him quite a lot. He's going to have to jump out and jump back in again and hope he can take control of that car. Dreams trying to work very hard to get himself back up into position then. As we take a look at the different strategies that we've got, it would appear that the majority of strategy tonight is the medium tyre, with only 4 drivers opting for the hard compound tyre. Already a gap forming between Matteo in second and Alex Carew, who's done well actually to get himself up into P3. Let's just have a quick look at the position changes then. Alex Carew up 6 positions. Up 4 for Rich Sebi as well. 6 positions up for Avira. 5 positions up for Packets, who started right at the very back. And 9 down for Dreams. 8 down for Zeech. And yeah, we have a long night ahead of us for some of these drivers who've lost a lot of positions there as we cross the line. It'll be Freddie Rizal, who finishes lap number 1, leading this US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas on Sunday night for Moose Racing League. Make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button, and get yourself involved in all the action as we head off towards lap number 2 then. Going to be interesting to see how some of these guys get on. There's plenty of toing and throwing down a little bit further on. One great big long DRS train after Alex Carew. So he's already the proverbial champagne cork in the bottle then. 2.8 seconds off the back of the leading duo. But an interesting skirmish here in the midfield then, with Avira on the hard tyre, going to be put under pressure from Ardell. Ardell will be dragging his teammate Gabop along as well. And are we going to see Ardell making a move on the Ferrari? Yes, we are. No DRS for the Ferrari of Avira. And he's going to get a double overtake. Great view there from the rear wing of Ardella's Gabop. Squeezes through on the inside as well. Might have had a problem and a warning there for cutting corners. But the two McLarens maneuver their way past Avira in the Ferrari, relegating him down to P13. He's got a little bit of work to do himself here to get himself back up towards that front grid. The two leaders are about to go around that final turn, and Gamer is the first driver to pick up a penalty for his interpretation of track limits, not matching that of the race director. We're down to quite a low battery there for Matteo. Those two guys have burnt quite a bit of battery to get themselves away from Alex Carew. 3 seconds back, the Ferrari 3 seconds in front, should I say, of the Haas. Go Alex, is sporting Jake. Absolutely doing a good job. Gabot becomes the next driver to pick up some warnings. We did say that it looked like he cut that turn at the end of the long straight and he picked a warning up. He's picked up another 2 on his travels as well, and that's him picking up 3 seconds of penalties also. So Matteo, are we going to see Matteo make that move now? The wing will be wide open on that car any second now. There it is. Does he have overspeed? Is he going to try and go around the outside? He's going to try and dive down the inside there. Gets the move done pretty easy before the left-hand slow turn. These two just utilising DRS and a considerable amount of battery, if you're Matteo, to edge further and further away from Alex Carew. Alex has got a small buffer to the 2 cars fighting behind him in Daimi and Gamer. He's looking to try and get himself... he's already got a yellow fuel light there as well, by the way. Just double check through the rest of the field. Anybody under-fueled? Doesn't appear so. Matteo burning some more battery. I don't think you really need to burn any battery there when you're leading the pack. No need to be right at the very start. D-Master has joined and left because he's too late in misqualification. Race with him in another league. Dude was a beast in the last race. Well, let's see what he can do tonight. He's looking pretty comfortable. 73%, 75% battery, but he does have that yellow warning fuel light on. He's only half a second in front of the cars around him. Not utilised a great deal of battery. 4.4 seconds. We know, of course, this being a 28-lap race. There's plenty of time to go. Dreams has had himself a moment as well there. So Dreams now dropped all the way down to the back of the pack. So Dreams all the way down to the back of the pack. What happened to Dreams there? We've missed that, and now he's got some work to do to get himself up and past. A couple of changes happening. Avira, Edge, all battling it out. There goes Avira trying to get through on the inside of Edge. Looks like Edge is possibly going to fight back on the inside here. Is he going to get that move done? Yeah, Edge gets that move done, and we've got a right missing end plate on the Ferrari of Avira. He won't want to pit yet on 3-lap-old hard tyres either. He will want to keep going, but how much time is he going to lose throughout all these different corners on this track? Harv becomes the next driver to pick up a time penalty. Missed 1.5 seconds off the back of Packets. Packets still continuing to work his way back up the field, up to 13 after starting at the back through disqualification. We're going to see that move from Edge on Mist. Gets the job done nice and easy up the hill at turn number 1. And round goes Avira there again, losing a lot of traction and grip on that back end. It feels to me as though he's going to have to take his medicine and get himself into the pit lane. Otherwise, he's going to pick himself up some penalties. You can see how much he's struggling from this beautiful helicopter cam to get certainly those right turns. Suffering from a lack of downforce in the right turns. Isn't going to be able to continue with that broken wing, I wouldn't have thought. Losing time all the time. Out of DRS now as well. And yeah, take your medicine, Avira. Get yourself into the pits, my friend. Matteo is still doing Ferrari proud, and that was almost a commentator curse moment as he lost a little bit of traction and grip there. Interesting to see how long these tyres do last. I would suggest that we might just about get to double figures in terms of number of laps when these guys decide to jump in and do a pit stop. Safety cars withstanding, of course. Titan, you're right, he did. He had a drive-through. My bad. I did actually call it a race. I forgot all about it, so I apologise. So Dream serves the drive-through then, and that's dropped him back down. He's got past the ARV of Zeech, and he's actually closing in quite nicely on this damaged car of Avera, who's currently sat P17. He's dropped so far off the back, hasn't he? 3.3 seconds off the back of the Racing Bull of Armour Bum, and into the pit lane he comes. So, takes his medicine, comes in to get that wing changed. As Freddie and Matteo got Freddie on 100% battery, just utilising DRS. Nice and easy for Freddie, nice and steady this for the Mercedes man at the moment. Just cruising around behind the Ferrari. Ooh, gets very close late on the brakes there though. Doesn't want to make any kind of mistake which could consider him a penalty. Alex Carew, by the way, just to note, he has burnt through a lot of battery. Wow, down to 6%. I'm sure he'll turn it off at some point and begin to harvest again, maybe through the middle part of this track on lap number 7. As Gabop and Harv exchange positions, and then we've got Ardell losing multiple positions there to Packets, who continues to improve, and City of R in the Williams. 1.7 seconds off the back. So we're broken up into a few smaller groups now. Harv and Gabop having their own tussle for P9. J. Joe, Sheldon, Rich, Sebi, Gamer, and Dimey battling out for P4. Alex Carew's just managed to separate himself from that chasing group and now sits on his own in P3, 4 seconds off the front two, 1.2 seconds separating him from that chasing group. You see Gabot taking a more defensive line, trying to break the tone, knowing he's not got DRS himself. I think the formation lap's bugged too. The drivers in my voice chat said they didn't have lights. Oh, no. To be fair, I can't remember whether I saw lights either, to be honest. Ardell, another driver, picking up a 3-second penalty. That's 4 drivers now. Gamer, Gabop, Harv, and Ardell, the 2 McLarens. Dicing with those track limit penalties. Lap 7 of 28 then. As Freddie Rizal and Matteo exchange positions once more. Freddie Rizal had obviously got past the Ferrari, but the Ferrari fights back. And these two seem very evenly matched. Maybe a move here from the Mercedes. And Freddie Rizal makes an audacious move there. No real need to, but I guess in terms of racing, if you've got the opportunity to get some work done, then there you go and there you have it. And he gets that move done. Matteo will, of course, have DRS down that long home straight. And then climb up the hill towards turn number 1. Alex Carew, 4 seconds. Still managing to keep that chasing pack out of DRS. Gamer, Rich, Sebi, Sheldon, and J-Jo. They're the 5 chasing cars. Harv still got Gabop for company. They've exchanged positions once more as well, both with 3-second penalties. Packets looking to close the gap. 1.3 seconds that gap is up to P10 and Gabop in the McLaren. He'll be able to see the rear of that car from his cockpit. There he is, look. And Gabop picks up another 3 seconds. That's 6 seconds for him. Packets almost within DRS. That gap will be extended once more. Matteo takes the lead of the race from Freddie yet again. Are we going to see a move from Freddie again into this tight left-hander? No, we're not. He's going to be satisfied just sitting behind the Ferrari on this occasion. Plenty of opportunity here to get warnings as well, certainly through the S's. They're in between the penultimate corner and the final corner. And Half, where's Half? Half just got it at the penultimate corner. That's where he's picked up his 6 seconds. We're going to see the bot. Oh, almost move across the break in there. Half just about manages to not run into the back of the McLaren. So good stuff from him in the end. Here's a place where you can invalidate anywhere throughout that group of sweeping left and rights. And then here as well. So not on this right-hander, but on this left-hander. That's another invalidation station. And the runoff as well. But both of these drivers managed to maintain their driving lines through there on this particular occasion. They are being joined by Packets now, though. So Packets right on the rear of Half. Be interesting to see if we get on board with Packets, how close he can get to Gabot, perhaps. Not too far, not too close at all. He had DRS, but I think he just wanted to try and harvest a little bit of battery there. Yeah, it's looking that way, Minico, mate. How's Damie getting on with Gamer in hot pursuit? So Gamer 4/10. Alex Carew definitely just eking out a little bit more time. That gap gets up to 2 seconds. But DRS for this chasing 4. Chasing Damie. No moves made. Ardell gets in front of Edge a little bit further on down. Into the pits though goes Ardell. So Ardell, first of the guys to dip into the pit lane. He's had enough, so I was just about right just before we got to double digits in terms of laps. Let's see where Ardell comes out. Looks like he's going to come out just behind Mist, and actually Mist has pitted slightly earlier. Mist will go up and past him, will he? At the turn. He's going to be a bit more heat in those tyres. Just about enough racing room there, and that's going to allow Mist on the warmer, grippier tyres to get through, is it? No, it isn't. As Ardell does take that position back. Might only be fighting for P17 and 18 on track right now, but that is purely based on the fact that they have pitted. Be interesting to see with 1 or 2 extra laps as Mist picks up that 3 seconds, how they shake out in terms of the rest of this grid. Plenty of positions being exchanged here. Gabop and Half on that long straight. Exchange positions, and that 2.6 second gap ever growing. Packett still maintaining his position with them. Just nice and comfortable, cruising along behind those two at the moment. Well over 2 seconds now, the gap between Gamer, who's taken P4 from Daimi. Will Gamer, one of our previous champions here, of course, Gamer. 611 career points coming into season 14. 95 races under his belt now. 96th race today for Gamer MUFC. 9 wins for him in his career with 23 podiums. And only 6 penalty points, it has to be said. So let's see what he can do now. 2.4 seconds the gap between himself and Alex Carew in the Haas. He'll be looking to try and close that gap down and really put some distance between himself and Daimi. Will he pit this lap? I think we may well see a flurry of activity at the end of lap number 11. I would imagine it is a bit early for the one-stop Titan. I'm almost imagining we go medium, hard, medium, perhaps. If you've gone in early doors, you know, sticking a set of hards on and going. Mind you, it's only what 19 laps on the hard tyre. That's probably doable, but the hard tyres aren't quite as OP as they have been previously. Daimi just moving backwards at the minute. In a bit of a tussle here with Rich Sebi as well. J-Joe gets through. So J-Joe in the Racing Bull gets through. Banging tyres between the Alpine and the Aston Martin here on lap number 11 of 28. And it will be the Alpine of Rich Sebi that gets himself through to move himself up into P7. Does go quite late though. Freddie Rizal dives into the pit lane. Matteo continues. And Packets now picks up 3 seconds. Into the pit lane comes Daimi. He's had enough of those medium tyres. He'll be right behind Rich Sebi as well, who'll dive into the pit lane. So a flurry of activity then. Right, as I said at the end of lap number 11, we've got Freddie Rizal, Rich Sebi, Daimi, Harv, Edge, Zeech. They've all dived into that pit lane. Obviously, the guys on the hard tyre are staying out. So I'm a bum, stays out. He's just gone around turn number 1 through turns 2 now. Heading off down the S's, trying to get himself back into contention here. Seems to be quite a long way off the back of Freddie, and Freddie's already pitted. So there's a full pit stop and a little bit more between those two drivers. So the 5 leading cars then on the medium compound tyre. Plenty of splits between those guys now as well. Matteo 4.8 seconds in front of Alex Carew, who's 2.7 seconds in front of Gamer. Gamer does have Happy Like Pies, Sheldon Humphrey. Does have him for company. J-Joe's just dropped off the back of that a little bit as OTC Dreams, beg your pardon, has to let Freddie Rizal through. And Dreams will, of course, have to pit again. 11-lap-old medium tyres on that Haas, but has done a considerably decent job of getting himself back up through the field. Here we go then. What is happening in the pit lane? Yes, we've got action in the pits. Everybody in, J-Joe in as well. So that leading 5 into the pits, which means Packets, with that 3-second penalty, will take the lead of this race, albeit without a pit stop. He's going to be chased down by Gibot, though, up to turn number 1. Freddie Rizal. Look at Freddie Rizal already up to P3. Now everybody's coming to the pit lane. OTC Dreams really will be wanting to get himself into the pit lane pretty sharpish. He'll be hoping, it would appear he's gunning for having better hard compound tyres towards the end of this race than those around him. So he's already going to have tyres that are 2, 3 and in some cases 5 laps better than some of his competition. Vera, who dived into the pit lane a wee while ago to get that wing fixed, as Ardell picks up another 3 seconds. I think that's 9 seconds now for him. No, it's just the 6, joining his teammate Gabop on 6. Matteo getting himself past Dreams as well. So Matteo now trying to chase down Freddie Rizal. It looks like Matteo staying out that 1 lap extra. Did he stay out 1 lap extra? Yeah, Matteo stayed out 1 lap extra. That's cost him 3 seconds. As a 3-way tussle here. Packets, Gabot and Freddie Rizal coming through sector 3. Freddie's going to get himself up. Yeah, Freddie gets himself up past Gabop. And to be fair to Packets and Gabop, that's not the race they are in. They're probably better off allowing Freddie Rizal to get himself through, because it's really the race is Alex Carew picks up 3 seconds. That's going to be big for him. Into the pits goes Dreams to ditch those 13-lap-old medium tyres. The guys who started off, the 4 guys who started off on the hard compound tyres, still out on track. Packets, Gabot, I'm a bum. And, no, somebody else did pit. So that was Avera, by the way. Avera pitted, of course. So 3 of the guys who started on the hard compound tyre are still out. And it's going to be Freddie. Where's Matteo? Is Matteo on the back? Yeah. Oh, speeding in the pit lane from Avera. So Avera's DNF'd. He's retired from the session. He will not be continuing. Let's hope him leaving the session doesn't bug the lobby out. Obviously, he's had himself enough. Look at the rear end. Getting all squirrely on the back of Gabot there. 13 laps. Here comes Matteo. DRS wing wide open. He's going to go down quite easily towards the turn that leads into Sector 3. Now he needs to dispatch packets and begin chasing down that Mercedes of Freddie Rozelle. Get too close in there. There we go. Should have so much better grip. He'll be wanting to dispatch packets pretty quickly and begin the job of chasing down Freddie. And here we see it. There you go. So 3.2 seconds the gap then. Gabop into the pits dispatching now. That feels like it might be a little bit early to dispatch the hard tyres. I may well have waited a couple more laps, but I'm not a tier 2 driver. So what do I know? Gabop's going to find himself coming out in P15 on cold medium tyres, so he's going to be struggling initially as Dreams will get up and around him. Another 3 seconds for missed. But in a couple of laps, Gabop will have a slightly quicker tyre. Rich Sebi on 3-lap-old medium tyres. He's got to take those quite a long way. Oh. 3 wide then, down towards the hairpin. One goes one goes the other, and it'll be Mist that's left floundering as Dreams and Gabop both get past and then make their way all the way down that long session. They'll both have DRS as well, and he will not, by the way, so Mist. That wing won't be open on the back of that car, and it'll allow the other two to begin to streak away. Slight mistake there from Dreams. That's going to allow Gabop to get up and around him. Is he going to go all the way around the outside and make it stick on the inside of that next turn? Yes, he is. So Gabop gets the job done on Dreams. Dreams now on the hard tyre. Gabop on the quicker compound tyre, quicker, softer compound tyre of the yellow rim medium. Gamer the champagne cork in the bottle at this particular moment in time. Gamer Alex Carew, Rich Sebi, Sheldon Humphrey fighting it out for P4. 4 drivers going head to head. It is currently in the trenches. The championship leader in the trenches. As it currently stands, Freddie Rozelle will take the lead in this Tier 2 championship. Right then, what's happening? Gamer, 4.2 seconds off the back. Still got those 3 cars in Alex Sheldon and Sebi for company. Dimey in P8 with J-Joe. Just have a quick look now once we've got through these pit stops. Obviously, Packets has made 16 positions up, but he's yet to pit. 13 down for Dreams, though, after that catastrophe at the start with the drive-through penalty. Potentially no likes. Get back onto tyres one second. Who hasn't stopped? So it's just Packets who hasn't stopped at the moment. I wonder how far he's going to try and take those tyres. So 16 laps at the moment. He's just coming round the hairpin to make the long journey down towards the end of Sector 2. So he's starting that. The leading Ferrari and Mercedes are just taking that left-hand turn and crossing their way into Sector 3. 8 seconds. Alex Crew, Gamer now loses position. to Alex Carew. Looks like Gamer will try and fight back, though. They go side by side. Is Gamer going to get enough traction to be on the inside of the next turn? He is. And Gamer just does nudge ahead in front. Slight lock. Little bit of off-track action there from Alex Carew. That might have been Gamer allowing him back through, but Gamer takes the position yet again. They'll move into the penultimate turn, and Gamer picks up another 3. So that's going to hamper his result tonight. They're desperately trying to get on the back of that Red Bull of Packets. 2.1 seconds the gap now between Gamer and Packets, knowing full well. So this is a battle for a podium now. So nothing silly from these guys, Alex Carew and Gamer. Sheldon and maybe Rich Sebi, if Rich Sebi can get back up, but he is going to be on very old medium tyres. So there is a podium in the offing here for Sheldon Humphrey for Happy Like Pies. Happy Like Pies, 24 podiums to his name so far for Moose Racing League, as far as I can tell. Unless he's had any in the prior couple of weeks. A yellow fuel light on the horse of Alex Carew as well. So that's one for us to keep our eye on too. Yeah, dive me now up into P9. So Cobb, can I assume then, because my memory is that bad, that you are the team principal for Aston Martin? Bop and Dreams exchanging positions down the lower reaches. Mateo not really having too much impact on this gap between himself and Freddie Rizal. 2.9 seconds that gap stays at, by the way. Packets really dropping off the back now. And Packets does have other cars for company. So Packets Gamer, Alex Carew and Sheldon Humphrey are on track and on the back of the Red Bull. Here on lap 19 of 28 in this, the US Grand Prix at Cota, Circuit of the Americas. You're tuning into Moose Racing League. My name's Andy Owen and I'm calling the action tonight around this. Round number 3, season 14. And it looks at the minute as if Mercedes have run away with this one. Not quite checking out though, Freddie Rizal. Mateo still managing to keep in contact. But Gamer, Alex Carew, Sheldon Humphrey and possibly Rich Sebi, but now seems to be dropping quite a long way off the back of that chasing trio. They will be the cars. Gamer, Alex and Sheldon. They will be the guys working hard to try and get themselves onto the podium. Are we going to see contact here down towards that turn? What a move that is. Opportunity to make the move from Sheldon Humphrey. Packets had to take what looked like evasive action, not to run into the back of the cars, battling it out in front of him. And Sheldon Humphrey walked through an open door to claim P5 and be right on the back of the horse of Alex Carew. Both Alex and Gamer with penalties, of course. 6 seconds for Gamer, 3 seconds for Alex Carew. That would bring Rich Sebi back into the mix in terms of positions, and quite possibly J-Jo as well. J-Jo won't go quietly into the night. He will keep fighting and battling. He's pulling Damie along with him as well. So looks like we've got a good bit of competition here for the top 10 positions. Gamer 13 seconds off the back. Packet still yet to pit on very old hard tyres now. They must be going off. Rich Sebi on 8-lap-old mediums. He will get caught by J-Jo. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Those medium tyres have probably got a couple of laps left in them. Halves thrown on some intermediate tyres. Oh, he's accidentally thrown on some intermediate tyres, so he's come into the pit lane to get rid of those. I'm a bum. 5-lap-old mediums for him. Currently sat in 17th. Back marker gang is what he referred to himself as a little bit earlier on. Where is Sheldon Humphrey then? We see Alex Carew going through. Getting in front of Gamer. Gamer yet again. 6 seconds for him. And actually J-Jo side by side. A little bit of contact there it looked like. And there might be contact here again, as Packets is just really in the way of these two guys. Too much grip for him to keep them away, and a little bit of wheel banging in between J-Joe and Rich Sebi. J-Joe, I think, possibly let Rich Sebi through there. Was conscious that it might have been a push to pass. You'd have to ask the stewards later on in the week. But J-Joe then reclaiming that 6th position from him, and now will begin to try and close that 1.7 second gap that he has between himself and Sheldon Humphrey up in P5. Something's happened with Gamer. Gamer, 2.1 seconds off the back of Alex Carew now. So Alex Carew, with that yellow fuel light, has just extended, and he's 1-2 seconds in front now of that couple of guys chasing. Yellow flag in sector number 1, though. Don't know who that was, but looks like it might have been J-Joe. J-Joe all the way down now into P10 after getting himself up into P6. Maybe he's another coming together with Rich Sebi. Who knows? But he's down now in P10, and we'll have to do all that hard work yet again. Yes, sir. Lawrence Stroll in the flesh. I sacked my son for these two. Half? Maybe rain at the end? No, I think that was a mistake from Half. He's come back in. Hey, do you know what? We have got some rain at the end. I think I've just seen rain on the screen. We do have a little bit of rain in the air, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe that wasn't a silly move from Half. But maybe he just went a lap too early. We are going to get a little shake-up here towards the end. But of course, at the minute, the rain is so light you can hardly tell it's there. Oh, contact! J-Joe possibly a little bit frustrated. And yeah, he's gone round again. Yellow flags wave. J-Joe tumbles all the way back. And what had been a decent race for the Racing Bull man has turned into a bit of a disaster. And he's just lost all ability to drive. I don't know quite what's happened there. That looks like it might be some kind of... Oh, be careful there, J-Joe. Careful there, J-Joe, my son. Get yourself in. He's probably got to try and... interesting. Because he seems to have no control over that car whatsoever. He picks up 3 seconds. He's probably going to dip into the pits, try and put some intermediates on. Packets and Edge have gone early. So Packets and Edge have got the intermediate tyre on. 10 seconds, that'll be it for J-Joe. J-Joe looks like he may well have had rear wing damage. Might have been rear wing damage for J-Joe, and he will dip himself into the pits. Are we going to see any of the leading cars going to the pit lane? Is Alex Carew going to gamble? He has a penalty already. Sheldon Humphrey, 2.4 seconds off the back. So Sheldon will jump into those podium positions. Will Alex Carew gamble to try and throw some wet tyres on for the remainder of this race? You can see the guys from 11th down, apart from Gabop and Half, have all now thrown that intermediate tyre on. We can't see it. Can't see the rain on the track just yet. But these guys are definitely going a lot slower through this part of the track. Dreams picks up 3 seconds. This night goes from bad to worse. And yes, we do see the two leading cars in for intermediate tyres. Freddie Rozelle and Matteo. In comes Alex as well, just about Sheldon. Sheldon is going to carry on. Is that a mistake from the Aston Martin driver? We can see rain on the track right now. And he can see out in front Freddie Rozelle. He is going to come out in front of Matteo, though. So Sheldon, 10 lap old, hard tyres. This is the gamble. Let's keep our eye on that time. 3.2 seconds. Is it time for the intermediates? Is it crossover time? Or can Sheldon get himself back up towards the back of that Mercedes? He's lost a little bit there. That looks like it's becoming increasingly difficult. This might be a mistake from Sheldon Humphrey. He might find himself under pressure going down into... Yeah, this will be pretty painless and pretty quick. And there it is. And there won't be any DRS, I wouldn't have thought. Let's just double check. Oh, there is still DRS. DRS is still operational. So the Ferrari still does have DRS. OTC Dreams, by the way, up into P4. Harv calls it a night in the pit lane. So one Mercedes at the front, one Mercedes calling it a night. Is OTC Dreams going to try and minimize the amount of damage done by his drive-through and stay out on these hard compound tyres and therefore finish this race in P4? Penalty-wise, only 3 seconds. 3 seconds for Alex and 6 seconds for Gamer. He could stay out and still finish in P4 here. DRS is disabled. But all these guys who are chasing him now have already swapped tyres. He has to stay out, does he not? No, he's going to come in. He's going to come in. So, wants to make sure he collects some sort of points. Gabo got disconnected. Mr. Gabo, I'm not doing invites, my friend. You need to get your teammate in. I'm not doing invites, buddy. Quite frankly, I don't know whether you added me. If you didn't add me back, my friend, I've got, as you can see, 327 people here. So if you didn't add me back, my friend, the whole shazazzle. Doesn't look like you did. Doesn't look like you did, geez. Sorry. Right, anyway, where were we? So everybody now on that intermediate tyre. Freddie Rozelle is extending his lead, so Freddie Rozelle has been pretty imperious on tonight's drive. 3.6 seconds, the gap between himself and Matteo. Alex in P3 with that 3-second penalty. He looks like he's going to finish third now. Because Sheldon's just dropped off the back with that mistake, staying out the extra lap on the hard compound tyre. Sheldon Humphries probably caused himself not to get a podium tonight because he stayed out one too many laps. It would have been better to get yourself in, get changed. He will pick up P4, but he's just not quite close enough to get P3 from Alex Carew in the Haas. So Freddie Rozelle leads the way, Matteo second, Alex Carew third. So still a good Constructors' night, still a good Constructors' night for Haas. Dreams will probably finish ninth as it currently stands. We are only on lap 25 though. Let's not forget that. Still a few more laps of racing to go. We don't know how heavy the rain's going to get. Doesn't look like it's getting too terrible. The umbrellas are up in the stands. City of R get himself up as long as he stays around that 3-second mark with Dreams. He'll pick himself up some nice points in the Williams tonight as well. And Edge won't be too far behind, but Edge does have that 3-second penalty. Edge should be fine in P10 as it currently stands. And Edge is going to try and make a move here on the inside of Dimey. Yes, gets the move done. Dimey without a penalty though. So now you've got past Edge. You've got to go and find yourself 3 seconds, my son. And maybe you can get in the slipstream of that teammate of your City of R and get pulled along towards that finish line. So we said that Freddie had been imperious. The gap down to 3.2. 3.1. Is there still a potential skirmish that can take place over the course of the last 2 laps? Will lap 27 and 28 provide us with some racing action out in front? Or will Freddie just relax? How much battery has Freddie got left? 84. Plenty of battery for Alex, for Freddie. Alex will get joined by Gamer. Gamer looks like he's going to be overtaken by Sheldon. Just about clear enough of Rich Sebi at the minute. So Rich Sebi's going to need, we'll call it 8/10 to push Gamer down a little bit further as Edge and City of R exchange positions. Edge in P8, City of R P9, Dimey P10. on the back of those two Williams. Two Williams flying in formation on lap 26 of 28 here at Moose Racing League's round number 3, season 14, tier number 2. Tackling the circuit of the Americas. Plenty of racing action that we've seen so far. No dry line, as you can see. And still the rain tumbling from the skies. Plenty of moisture out on track. He knows he's just got to try and stick on the rear of Citivar to get a position back from Edge, and maybe he can make a move on Citivar on that final couple of laps. As Matteo and Freddie start the penultimate lap of this race. You can see how difficult the conditions are compared to what they were on earlier on, with puddles now forming on the racing line as well. So just a little bit of peril and danger. For these guys, Freddie will be just trying to cruise out in front. Matteo still pushing kind of hard to try and get up towards the back, 2.8 seconds. So he's managed to take a second out over the course of the last few laps, but running out of time, running out of asphalt. He'll need more. He'll need Freddie to make a mistake, I would think, if he's going to catch the Mercedes man for tonight. Game has now just dropped off the back of Alex Carew, has he? Yeah, just dropped off the back of Alex Carew. Sheldon in plenty. Now that Gamer's under threat now from Rich Sebi as well. So Rich Sebi, that gap is round about the 6-second mark. So at the minute, Gamer may well drop down, as Rich Sebi will now finish below Gamer. He's not going to have an opportunity. That mistake right towards the very end of this race means that Gamer will finish at least P5 as it currently sits. Sheldon Humphrey looking like he's going to finish in P4. Not going to be close enough. Almost looked like he was going to pick up a penalty himself there as well. Look how wet the track is right now, guys. This is one wet track. Top 2 should not be tier 2, says Sketchy Bull. Sketchy, it's not like you to come through with some controversy on the penultimate lap of this race, or the final lap of this race now. The controversies come through. Freddie Rizal and Matteo then, potential Tier 1 drivers, 20 seconds out in front of third position as it currently stands. We may as well go on with Freddie then. He's been pretty good in this race. Whether or not he's tier 1 or tier 2 is another matter. You can only do what's put out in front of you. And as we head through the midst of Sector 2 on the final lap of this, the US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas, Freddie's done the job that was handed down to him from the Mercedes team principal. He's reserving this evening. Freddie Rizal will take the lead of this championship. There was only 3 points between himself and OTC Dreams. OTC Dreams currently sat in P7 and unlikely to make any more ground on the race. The wet weather really has begun to put some gaps between the drivers now. There's only Dimey down there in P10, followed by Packets, who's got a penalty. So City of R and Dimey really kind of fighting for P9. Ironically, Dimey's now dropped off. Edge has done a fantastic job to get himself out of range. So Edge will look to finish P8. But round the final corner we go then. Freddie Rizal in the Mercedes will cross the line first. Just about, and then crash his car. So Freddie Rizal crosses the line first. Then it's Matteo. So Freddie was the US Grand Prix. Alex Carew is coming round to the penultimate turn right now. We've got yellow flags waving in the background, so a little bit of drama going on possibly there towards the end. Right at the final corner, so Alex will complete the podium tonight. Game across the line fourth, but he will be bested by Sheldon Humphrey, who jumps up into fourth with no penalties. Rich Sebi finishes 6th. OTC Dreams will cross the line. A good recovery from him, finishing P7. Edge will finish P8. Over 3 seconds in front of his teammate, City of R, who finishes P9. And it'll be Dimey P10. P11 is Packets. Ardell, plenty of penalties for him. And Zeech will jump up into P12. Missed with 9 seconds of penalties coming around the penultimate corner as we dive on board with him. And he will come across the line to finish P14. Gabop still manoeuvring his way around. And I'm a Bum will actually take that final, that P15 from him. 3 guys who didn't finish tonight's half, J-Joe and Avira. Yeah, Sebi, that mistake in the final couple of laps, my friend, did cost you a position. You would have finished P5. Says my lights went out 5 seconds after everyone else, and then I got a drive-through on top of it. Oh, so Sam, your dreams? Yeah, that was a crazy start to the race, my friend. That's a very good recovery, and I think we may need to consider turning the formation as we move forward. But there he is on the top step of the podium. It's Freddie Rozelle who takes the race win here at the circuit of the Americas. A super job from him. Yeah, Packets, that was unfortunate for you as well, my friend. So here's your final standings then. We'll run through this actually. Race winner, Freddie Rozelle. Fastest lap, Freddie Rozelle. Driver of the day was Dreams. Most mistakes was Dreams as well. Cleanest driver was indeed City of R. Freddie Rozelle wins the Grand Prix with Mateo in second place. Alex Carew finishing the podium off with Sheldon Humphrey 4th. 5th is Gamer with Rich Sebi in 6th. Dreams in 7th. With the 2 Williams, then Edge and City of R, 8 and 9. 10th is Dimey, Packets in 11. 12th is Zeech. Ardell in 13th. Mist, finishing eventually in 14th. I'm a Bum 15th. Gabop 16th. And then Half, J-Joe, and Avira, tonight's DNFs. Yeah, we can do interviews if you like, my friend. I'm going to jump into the commentary box. I'll try and jump into the commentary box. There we go. So yeah, let's see if I can tag the other guys. Other guys. Tier 2 chat. So I've got you in, and then Mateo, and who finished third? Who finished third? I can't remember. Yeah, if you want to get yourself into the cool down room, guys. The Haas driver, wasn't it? Haas. Alex, of course. Alex Carew. You're in general VC. Go into the cool down room, please. down room. You're in the general VC, and I can't see down general VC. For some inexplicable reason. It's underneath the commentary boxes, my friend, under Moose Media. Let's get ourselves back to the screen. Let's see the cool down room, lads. No cool down room, Freddie. What's happened? Go to general VC then, guys. Go to general VC, and I'll see if we can drag you across. There's Freddie. Freddie's in. So let's move him to commentary box. I think we're in commentary box B. So we've moved Freddie across. So that's Freddie in, and we're waiting for Matteo. And then Alex Carew. If Alex comes through, I don't see any messages from Alex, but we'll run with what we've got with. Oh, Matteo's made it into the cooldown room. So we'll pull Matteo into.
Hey, sorry, my mic's gonna be kind of bad since I'm on, but
don't you worry, Matteo. I'll come to you very shortly. Just see if
all
we
right,
can
all right.
find Alex Carew. No, Alex. Doesn't look like we're going to get Alex. So, gentlemen, thank you for. I'll tackle you first, Matteo. In that Ferrari. What a good race from you. Really interesting qualification session, of course. And then there was a mistake at the start from Dreams with, unfortunately, what appeared to be a game bug, and that allowed you to get up alongside Freddie. Just talk us through how your race went and where you feel like you could have, at some point, tried to get up alongside Freddie and take that.
Honestly, it was just like the strategy. Freddie pit on lap 11, I think. I pit lap 12, and he already had a 3-second gap. I think it would have been a good race if I'd maybe pit like lap 11, because the rain obviously came, and I think I had really good pace in the rain. But yeah, it was GG's to Freddie. Great race for him. And yeah, hopefully we can have some more like that. I'm pretty happy with my result today.
Yeah, it was a very good race. Yeah, that just staying out that one lap later just allowed him to get that undercut and pull that 3 seconds. And you really struggled to get those 3 seconds back. You're happy with the strategy that you ran with, though? You're happy with the race result, obviously?
Yeah. Setup was good. Race result was good. Everything was good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think we could start going for some wins this season. I'm hoping. So, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Next time out, we're staying in the US of A. We are heading to Miami. How do you like Miami as a track?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but Miami is not really my favorite track. But it's not a fan. It's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite. Okay.
But I'll try my best. Hopefully, we can take the win. We'll see.
Sure. And this is have you had another podium yet this season?
This is actually my first race.
Oh, that's your first race of the season. Okay, so you've now raced 4 races here. That was your 4th race. That's your 2nd podium in 4 races. Then, so when are you gonna tackle your first race win here at Moose Racing League?
That's an interesting one. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's my first season being tier 2. Last season I was tier 1, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can get a win soon enough. I'm gonna try go for it. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully next round, and hopefully Miami. But yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Actually, I'm looking at I was looking at Alex Carew. Actually,
Yeah.
that's your 19th race with us and your first podium. So congratulations on
That
the
is
very
my
first
first.
podium.
That is my first podium. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
congratulations and well done on that. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you next week around the streets of Miami.
Yeah. Hopefully. Thank you. Have a good one.
Done. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Moving on to you, Freddie. Congratulations. What a race from you today. Yourself and Matteo were 20 seconds clear of that chasing pack with Alex Carew in the Haas. Obviously, the weather threw a little bit of a spanner in the works later on in the day. Just talk me through your race strategy there, Freddie. What was your? Did you know for sure that was the strategy going in, and that's what you were going to run?
No, not really. The plan was to go longer, and I didn't know there was rain. I had no idea there was rain, so I thought if I pit a few laps earlier than I was supposed to, I was supposed to pit around lap 13.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get the undercut on Matteo because Matteo was looking strong, and I wanted that guarantee win for the championship. Since Dreams had an issue at the start, so the points was there up for grabs. But yeah, just put it lap 11, and obviously the rain came, and since the rain, I thought Matteo was going to come alongside me and probably snatch that win. I didn't feel that strong in the wet. Something I need to look at, improve on.
Yeah. Well, again, that's.
Could you guys still use me, or I'm assuming I'm too late?
Who's that? Is that Alex?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll come to you in a second, Alex. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so Freddie, that's you've had I think that's your 47th race here, and that's actually now your 8th win with a further nine podiums. So yeah, so good results for you, and looking really strong. Obviously, you're right. Dreams had that problem right at the beginning of the race. But yeah, you're looking real strong, yourself and Dreams, to really be kind of backing it out for this title.
Yeah, I think with the I think this season, I think before the first race I was just saying to myself, I need to keep it consistent, top 4 every race, because normally I have these races where I be too aggressive and make mistakes, and then I'd just lose too many points, like a few seasons ago with Major Castleman. I think my plan right now is going well. Didn't actually think I was going to race this week, but I did. Got the win, more points on the table. So yeah, happy.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be very delighted with your result this week. Next week it's off to Miami, so assuming that there's an ability to reserve again next week, you're going to be around?
I should be around. I mean, Miami's not a strong track for me, so I think for a win, might not be looking for it. Maybe a podium, but yeah, I'll be happy with a podium. I think Dreams has the edge on me right now with race pace. I mean, I think some people would disagree, but me and Dreams are normally up there together. And then since Matteo raced, he looks pretty quick. So I think us three will be battling out next week.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, congratulations on your win, my friend. Good luck in Miami next week, and I look forward to calling the action again.
Yep, cheers for the commentating.
Hey, no worries, my friend. Alex, thank you for joining us, mate. Welcome in to the commentary box. That is your second podium here, I believe, or have you had one in the first 2 rounds?
I don't think I got one in the first 2 rounds. I think I reserved and got one last season, but that was 24. So to me, it doesn't count at all.
It does count in the overall stats. That will be how many races have you done this year? That's 3 races you've done this season?
I think that's just 2. I was on vacation last week, 2 weeks ago, so
okay.
I wasn't able to join.
So 5 races then. So you've had 5 races here at Moose Racing League, and you finished on the podium twice. That's not a bad return. There are some guys who are nearing 100 races. So some of the guys, so Gamer, City of R, and
Bergs around here.
they're 100 races almost, and they'll cross 100 races this season. So you're in some good, quick company. What's your thoughts then in terms of how you fit in this tier? Do you feel like it's a good tier for you to be in?
Yeah, it's interesting. Those front two were probably still at the pace on me regardless. I felt towards the beginning of the race I could have held on to them if they, magically didn't have DRS or they stayed a little bit apart. Um, but I think after some reflection, they were probably would have barely pulled on me regardless. But I really had a good race setup, so I felt like I had it. I didn't account for the wet at all, so I wasn't sure how the inners were going to for me. But overall, it was really looking backwards the whole time and looking around me because those two in front just took off.
Yeah, they did indeed check out. That is for sure. 20-second gap between yourself and Matteo at the end there. But congratulations on your podium. Off to Miami next week. What's your thoughts around Miami?
I don't have a lot of practice, but I'll probably have to put a little bit in. I think I will be disappointed if I don't get above like a P8, but it's not my favorite track.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying exactly the same thing. So I don't think anybody thinks Miami is their favorite track. So you might have still a chance of adding to that list of podiums.
Good hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, you take care, my friend. Thank you so much to you and, of course, to Matteo and Freddie. Congratulations on your podiums. Look forward to calling the action with you in place next week.
Cool to hear. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Take
Appreciate
care, brother.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the Tier 2 broadcast. I hope you've had a magnificent time. I know I have. As per usual, these guys always deliver. And the Circuit of the Americas is a track that it would appear some of them feel as though they are particularly strong at. Two drivers streaked out into the lead, but in the end it was Freddie in that Mercedes, reserving for the Mercedes team principal, that took the race win. What will happen next week? We jet a little bit further on down the coast. We go from Texas to the land of the Longhorn. We go down to the world of Florida, the Panhandle, and we will be heading down to Miami. So race around the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium and see what else we can do in the land of the US of A. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Go and jump into the Tier 1 stream now. Those guys are tackling Cota tonight as well. The quickest guys we've got out on track. And it will be MRK and Pat the Rock, which will be your commentary team for that one. I'm taking a night off Tier 1. I need some sleep. But thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Have a great one. And we'll see you again next time around Miami.